Okay, again, I saw this problem on the internet, and one thing I want to point out, I do recommend you watch this guy do the problem, by the way. He did it differently than I did it. He talked about, even odd functions. He talked about logarithms. He talked about calculus. So what I want to do is I just want to go to the whiteboard and tell you how I did the problem. It's different than what he did, by the way, all right? So what I did, I'll go through this step by step. I wrote the problem down, by the way. And again, I have assumptions about these things that are not as difficult as they look. Now, granted, saying that, I may not be able to get the problem, even though it might be an easy problem over here. But one thing I need to know is an absolute value symbol over here. And the absolute value of x could be x if the x is greater than or equal to 0. However, it could be minus x. That's if the x is less than 0. So I'm going to break this into two cases. The first case, I'm going to break it in when it's greater than or equal to 0. The second case, I'm going to break it into when x is less than 0. Well, let's write these down. What are you going to get? You can get 4. Now, if x is greater than or equal to 0, the absolute value of x is just x. And this equals x to the 4th. Now, I'm going to say there's an obvious answer looking at this thing over here. And the obvious answer over here is x equals 4. And why is that? 4 to the 4 is equal 4 to the 4. This is an obvious solution over here. However, I suspect there's another one. And the way I'm going to do that is just rewrite this guy. I'm going to write this as 2 squared to the x, which is 2 to the 2x. And I'm going to write this thing as x 2 times 2. Now, looking at this over here, I'm going to say there's another obvious solution, which is 2. And what am I saying over there? Let's write this down for you. I'll check it. It's going to be 2 to the 4 is equal to 2 to the 4. That certainly makes sense, by the way. All right? Now, let's do the other guy. The other guy's a little more difficult. It's when x is below the 0. What are you going to get over here? You get 4 to the minus x equals x to the 4. All right? And I'm looking at this thing over here, wondering what you get, and I'm kind of looking at it. And again, by inspection, I'm looking at it, and I'm going to say x is minus 4. Let me just check that for you. What do you get? 4 to the 4 is equal to minus 4 to the 4. Well, that's certainly true, by the way. All right? Let's try another one. 2 to the minus 2x equals x 2 times 2. I'm going to say x equals minus 2 now. Let's check it. What do you get? 2 to the 4, and then you get minus 2 to the 4, and they're equal. So I get 4 solutions to the problem. What are the 4 solutions going to be? Minus 4, minus 2, 2, and 4. Again, I do recommend you watch the other guy do the problem. He goes through logarithms and he goes through calculus, all right? What am I doing? I'm looking at a pattern, and it's really kind of a simple problem. Thank you for paying attention.